This segment is all about selling your business in today's economy. Welcome to the program. I'm Mark Imperial, and this segment's brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals publish to lead their fields, educate consumers, and to leave a legacy. Joining me on this segment is Robert Greene. He's the founder of Robert Greene and Company. Robert, welcome to the show.
Thank you. Great to be here.
Tell us a little bit about your work and tell us specifically, who are the types of clients that you serve?
Well, start out with, I've been in the finance, insurance, planning business for a little over 40 years. And it's been an evolution. It started out with New York Life selling life insurance. A few years into that business, I got into estate planning when my father passed away in 1981. And, to save the family farm, I had to step up to the business. And over the years, it's just been an evolution of, one, trying to get out of business, so learning to deal with exit planning. Went to a program, Exit Planning Institute in Cleveland, got the certificate. And so my current issue is I work in Napa Valley, work with a lot of high net worth winery, vineyard owners, and we're all at an age we're in transition. We're trying to consider the next generation, what's the best for the business. Excuse me. So it's just been a long time evolution of learning different concepts and working with people that are getting older and have different needs.
When it comes to business owners, and they've been running their businesses and their wineries, for example, for such a long time, so they're great at running the business and growth. But how well do you find them? How well prepared do you find them when it comes time to selling their business?
Be surprised. Not well understood on the processes of something new. They've grown a business. They haven't tried to exit the business. They've done everything they can to wake up in the morning and feel comfortable, but usually have some form of panic that they got to get something done. And it's around new activity. It's not around finding someone else to do it, creating a second managing team to take over the business internally. They don't like most of the competition or the competitors. They want to stay away from those. So constantly surprised how unprepared people are, but think they're very prepared, think they have a lot of insight until they get to the doorway to find out there's not as much blue sky as they thought there would be.
Well, to your point, they don't know what they don't know, and they have preconceived notions that they think that they're prepared. Can you tell us, like, some of the preconceived notions people may have about exiting a business and what they may not quite understand?
The big one is, what do you end up with after you sell? There's frequently if you're dealing with the MA market, and there's a lot of fees to be paid / a lot of commissions that are dealt with. And you've got taxes. One of the biggest alligators in our modern life is, what do you end up with after taxes? And people don't sit down and really do a pure capital gain cost factor. There's ways to minimize that impact, but that takes planning in advance rather than after the sale. So most of my practice, I'm finding it's driven around trying to save taxes. People really haven't got that comprehended.
Fascinating. Can you share with us some of the maybe biggest mistakes you've seen or pitfalls that business owners may fall into if they don't properly prepare?
Sometimes, two that I can think of right off the top of my head. One of them is selling to an unprepared buyer, which would be internal, selling to someone in a business that's been a great employee, My experience with, especially with wineries, is that you've got one person that has been definitely in control of the growth. They've put a team together, and that team has worked. It may have taken several or many years to get the right personnel to work correctly together, but picking out one of those people to take your role, seldom, well, I've seen it not work out more often than work out. And what happens is the business deteriorates, and the business owner has to step back in and pick up a business that's failing rather than succeeding. And that's ego bashing as well as cash flow critical. And then the other is just walking away too soon, not really spending the time and the principles to build the business up to be as sellable as it could be. So leaving a lot of money on the table because they're just burnout, can't take it anymore, and they're done. And that typically isn't hot on the press in the marketplace.
You mentioned coming into the field, coming from insurance and other financial fields. What inspired you to specifically get into this field of helping business owners exit? How did you get started doing this?
I survived 41 years, and I wanted to get out, or I thought I did. And so I sold the business a couple of times to people that didn't get along with my client base, had different philosophy than I have. I come from a farm background, so I relate a lot differently to farmers than someone that's been a city person all their life, trying to act like they can deal with farmers. Farmers have a different attitude about a lot of things. So it's just being adjusting to the space I'm in, to improve my life, quality of my life, to do the next exit better than I did the last two, and go from there.
Right on. Robert, before I ask you my last question, in regards to planning to sell a business and exit planning in today's market, is there anything that I didn't think to ask you that you feel's important to share?
No, actually, I'm impressed with your flow of questions. You've been right on target.
Awesome. So for business owners listening who would love to speak with you and perhaps even get your help, how can they find you, connect with you, and learn more?
Excuse me. Well, my email is robert@rggcompany.com. Robert at rggcompany.com. Phone number is 707-738-0409. If a name doesn't pop up from a caller, I typically delete the call. So just leave a message and I'll get back as quick as I can, and we can start a non-obligated phone conversation to see if what I bring to the table is of value to the owner.
This has been terrific. I really appreciate you taking the time to share with my audience today, and I wish you continued success for you and for all of your clients.
Thank you very much. I appreciate the opportunity.
That was Robert Greene. He's the founder of Robert Greene and Company, and the segment's been brought to you by booksgrowbusiness.com. It's the place where busy professionals publish to lead their fields, educate consumers, and to leave a legacy. That's all for now. I'm Mark Imperial, and thanks for joining me.